once was a boy, not too young, not too bright, who walked home alone unattended at night. His pace was steady as to outdistance the danger. His face faced floorward, eluding the gaze of a stranger. When out of the gloom loomed a ghoulish silhouette. Its eyes glistened and glared, its torso haggard and humped, its arms old and outstretched. As the boy glanced, their eyes met. The creature cricked and it cracked. As its spine aligned, the boy knew he should run, but his mind had resigned. A subliminal voice screamed, "Run! Run away!" But his feet would not budge, in that spot they would stay. As he stood in that spot, transfixed and perplexed, he could not have expected what was about to come next. All at once a metamorphosis transpired. The shadow came forth, all wiry and tired. It fashioned a guise and grew as tall as a door. Impressed and under his breath, the boy swore. The creature, who was now a tall, thin man, crept up to the boy and placed a key in his hand. With a voice like a chainsaw he buzzed, "Follow me." The boy was beguiled. He could not disagree. The twig man marshaled the march down a narrowing path under an ancient arch. A solitary stream of illuminating light cut through the settling mist and into the night. Shadow puppets danced along the old street. Cast from the two frames clung to their 4 feet as the long march came to an abrupt end. The one willowy man addressed his new friend. "The key in your hand fits inside this door's lock," rasped the stick-thin soul as he proceeded to knock. The old withered hand managed 3 weak beats. The boy turned the key and they abandoned the streets. A small bell chimed as the door slammed shut. The boy's eyes adjusted to the dank, dark hut. A long, slender arm reached skyward and yanked. The hut lit up. It was cluttered and cramped. Though it wasn't a hut, it was a bric-a-brac shop. A cornucopia of things stacked right to the top. The boy stood in awe as his eyes looked around. There were so many things that were stacked on the ground. A lot of the things came straight from the grave. Garnets, gems, gold akin to Aladdin's cave. But the boy did not care about the trinkets and treasures. His eyes had settled on more technological pleasures. On display in a case surrounded by dust stood the idée fixée, an object of lust. When just at that moment the boy's focus was broken, from behind the powdered case came a creature, soft-spoken. "I see you're fond of playing games. This machine is powerful, beyond compare. It will play anything you can name, and all that I ask is a price that is fair." The little living thing slightly sang the little ditty. She was stubby, small and stout, and not particularly pretty. From behind the counter, she produced an old book. As the dust was blown off, the boy took a look. On the top of the page was a sentence in gold. "Signature needed for the item to be sold." The boy pondered a while before accepting the condition. He searched for a pen in which to scribe his permission. A familiarly aged arm reached over to him. "Take mine," he said with a crooked grin. The boy scratched the page, but it merely embossed. The pen was bone dry and the boy was now lost. The Bodak enchanted the boy with a knowing wink. "I'll give you a clue," he said. "You're filled with ink." The boy exhaled, then hesitantly held up a finger. He knew what to do, but it was hard not to linger. With his lids clamped closed, he punctured the skin. The fiend looked on with the same crooked grin. As he scribbled his signature, the boy discerned the exact price of the object he yearned. The quaint female creature escaped quickly down the hall. She scuttled down the aisle like a deformed bowling ball. The surroundings around him started to crumble and quake. Artifacts fell to the floor as the space seemed to shake. In expectant trepidation, the boy claimed his prize. The shop shook and it shuddered in front of his eyes. He launched past the lean man in one swift thrust, but as he looked back, the man too had turned to dust. The boy stood outside the shop with his goods in hand. Though he wasn't a boy, he was now a man.